Hydrogen water has exploded here in the United States and around the world. And with that growth, we've seen more companies, salespeople, and influencers backing their products with testing reports, numbers, and validation. But here's the real question. Do you actually know what those reports mean? Do you know how they got those results? Or more importantly, is the testing equipment they're even using legit? Because not all hydrogen testing tools are created equal. Some are laboratory gold standards. Some are decent consumer tools when used correctly. And others, well, let's just say they make the water look way more impressive than it really is. So in this episode, we're breaking down the top hydrogen water testing tools used in this industry. We'll show you what they are, how accurate they really are, who uses them, and most importantly, how to tell if you're being educated or fooled. Let's get into it. First up, the heavyweight champion of hydrogen testing, gas chromatography, or GC. This is the lab gold standard for measuring dissolved hydrogen. GC is commonly used in professional labs, including H2 analytics. Gas chromatography doesn't guess, it directly measures the hydrogen gas. A hydrogen water sample is sealed in a vial. The dissolved hydrogen gas escapes into the gas space above the liquid. That gas is then injected into a GC system. Inside the machine, an inert carrier gas pushes the sample through the long column. This column separates hydrogen from everything else. At the end, a thermal conductivity detector sees hydrogen as a tiny change in heat flow. GC delivers traceable, calibrated, and highly accurate results in milligrams per liter. You get an actual hydrogen peak on a chromatogram. You'll see the conditions, the calibrations, and the standards used. This is about as legit as hydrogen testing gets. GC can even pick up dissolved hydrogen gas and quasi-dissolved hydrogen gas. GC systems can cost tens of thousands of dollars. They require trained technicians. This is not a consumer tool. It is used by research labs, analytical labs, and serious third-party testing facilities. There is only one company in the US that publicly offers GC testing for hydrogen water products, and that company is H2 Analytics. If a company shows GC data from a credible lab, that is a strong credibility signal. But beware of GC reports outside H2 Analytics or GC data presented without proper context, calibration details, or sample handling information can still be misleading. Also, we've seen cases where companies claim GC testing from H2 Analytics when they never had that testing done. You can always verify if a company has undergone legitimate H2 Analytics GC testing here. GC is powerful, but only when done correctly by professionals with years of experience. Next up, the tool we use at my company, H2 Hub, the Unisense H2 microsensor. This is a laboratory-grade electrochemical hydrogen microsensor. It measures dissolved hydrogen gas directly in the water in real time. No reagents, no color change, no guessing. The highly sensitive microsensor detects dissolved molecular hydrogen at the molecular level in virtually any aqueous solution. The signal is measured in picoamperes and converted into a milligram per liter reading. It can capture changes in hydrogen gas concentration as fast as 0.02 seconds per data point. That means we can watch hydrogen gas concentrations rise, stabilize, and decay in real time. Our custom designed Unisense H2 microsensor can accurately measure dissolved hydrogen concentrations ranging from 0.001 milligrams per liter up to 20 milligrams per liter of dissolved molecular hydrogen. When calibrated against certified gas standards, its accuracy is comparable to GC. A key distinction between the Unisense and the GC is that the Unisense measures only dissolved molecular hydrogen, where GC measures both dissolved and quasi-dissolved molecular hydrogen. This is a high-end laboratory instrument, not a consumer toy. The complete setup can cost up to tens of thousands of dollars. The Unisense hydrogen sensor alone can cost thousands of dollars. Additionally, the sensors have a limited lifespan and require ongoing replacement over time. This is why it's a laboratory tool and not a consumer device. The system requires training and strict calibration protocol. As with GC, it's primarily used by research labs, analytical labs, and serious third-party testing facilities. Its real-time data logging exposes the shortcomings of other testing methods. You can't hide hydrogen loss, off-gassing, or inconsistent performance. This is why you don't see many companies using sensors like this voluntarily. Beware, just like with H2 Analytics, we've seen cases where some companies have claimed H2 Hub testing and approval, when in reality, they never been tested by us. It was just marketing. You can always verify H2 Hub approved products here. We want to take the time to recognize some companies that have taken the initiative to validate their claims using our Unisense hydrogen sensor. Now let's talk about a popular mid-tier tool, the KM2100DH. This is a polarographic membrane hydrogen electrode. It uses a electrochemical reaction behind a membrane to detect hydrogen. When calibrated correctly, it can be reasonably accurate up to about 2 milligrams per liter. Above that, the device really isn't accurate. Also, temperature, pressure, and handling matter a lot. This is often used by some researchers, manufacturers, and advanced testers. It's not cheap, but it's also not GC or Unisense level expensive either. It's good for approximate monitoring and lower levels of H2 in water, ranging from 0.5 milligrams per liter up to 2.0 milligrams per liter. It's not ideal for high pressure hydrogen water bottles or peak H2 concentration claims, or H2 products that produce levels of dissolved H2 above 2 milligrams per liter, which is a large majority of the market right now. Solid tool, but not a silver bullet. Now let's talk about the most misunderstood tool in hydrogen testing, H2 blue. H2 blue is a methylene blue platinum reagent. Hydrogen gas reduces methylene blue in a 1-to-1 chemical reaction. This means it's a molecule to molecule reaction. Platinum acts as a catalyst. This is classic chemistry, oxidimetry, also called titration. When used correctly, H2 blue is surprisingly accurate. Independent testing and studies show that it falls within 2 to 10% of GC results. Some research has even shown 99% accuracy under controlled conditions. However, these results are highly dependent on user skill level and strict adherence to proper testing protocols. It's affordable, portable, and widely used. Consumers, researchers, and industries worldwide use similar titration methods. The problem isn't H2 blue. Is user error. Wrong volume level, off by 20 to 30% or more. Stir too much, you just degas your hydrogen water. Water meniscus below the line, bad data. H2 blue takes skill. Also, there are many knockoffs on the market that produce inaccurate results. Therefore, H2 blue is the only brand that we currently recommend. You can learn more about these knockoffs in this H2 minute video. Once you learn how to properly use it, it's one of the best consumer tools available. Now we're getting into dangerous territory. ORP-based hydrogen meters, like the Trustlex meters and others. These are not true hydrogen meters. They are ORP meters attempting to extrapolate the hydrogen concentration. There is no hydrogen probe inside. So essentially it's measuring the ORP value of the water and guesstimating the hydrogen concentration. ORP does not measure the hydrogen gas concentration. It only detects the redox potential of water. It only takes 0.00001 milligrams per liter or 100,000 milligrams per liter of H2 to produce a negative ORP reading. That's nowhere near therapeutic levels. These meters are cheap and highly marketed. Some manufacturers and H2 companies may love them because they run high on the H2 readings. ORP values are dominated by pH, not hydrogen gas, making the water appear as though it has high or low H2 concentration. A 1 unit change in pH can massively shift ORP, making the water appear as though it contains a higher or lower hydrogen concentration. This is why alkaline ionized water can show huge negative ORP values with almost no dissolved molecular hydrogen in the water. These meters cannot be calculated to a hydrogen gas standard. For these devices to get relatively accurate readings, the water's pH needs to be at 7. In our opinion, they should never be used to validate hydrogen concentration claims. Finally, plain ORP meters. ORP meters measures oxidation reduction potential. That's it. They cannot quantify hydrogen gas levels. They can only detect its presence in water, not its dose. A negative ORP reading does not equal a therapeutic hydrogen dose. Molecular hydrogen is not the only agent that can produce a negative ORP. Aluminum can too. For hydrogen water, ORP is basically a marketing shortcut, not a measuring tool. If you want to learn more about ORP, be sure to check out our video. If you see GC or Unisense data, that is serious testing. The KM2100DH is great, but it has limitations. H2 Blue is excellent when used correctly and consistently. ORP-based hydrogen meters can be misleading. ORP meters alone are basically meaningless for hydrogen concentration and dose. Knowing the tool matters just as much as the numbers, because numbers without context aren't science. They're sales. If you want to learn how to test hydrogen at home correctly, be sure to check out our other H2 Minute videos. And if you want independent science-based hydrogen testing, that's what we do at my company, H2 Hub. And that was your accurately tested dose of H2 within minutes.